Hello friends! For today's autumnal video, I want to do a cozy autumnal thrift haul while also answering a bunch of questions that you guys asked me about Halloween and all things spooky and autumn related. You guys did not disappoint with the questions. We've got everything from my comfort autumn movies to watch, my favorite books, movies, and TV shows to watch during this time of year, my favorite Halloween costume as a kid. We've got a lot. And I must say the Halloween costume, my favorite one as a kid, is so iconic. I don't know what other 7-year-old dressed up as this. So I'm excited to show you. So let's just get started. I did get all of these clothing pieces from ThredUp, and ThredUp is the sponsor of today's video. So for those of you who might not know, ThredUp is an online retailer for secondhand clothing. So essentially it's an online thrift store, which I think is perfect because you don't have to go into the store, go down all of the aisles and look through all of the pieces of clothing physically. You can just do it from the comfort of your bed or your couch. And with ThredUp, you can find all of your favorite brands. I like to look for Free People, H&M, Madewell, J. Crew, and just so many others. And you can get them for up to 90% off estimated retail price. I'm a huge fan of H&M. You guys know I shop there regularly, but I've been really trying to find more pieces that are secondhand, gently used, and ThredUp is a great option for that. Shopping is really easy, but what I like to do is use the filters to my advantage. So say I'm looking for like a brown kind of vintage tweed skirt, I will go to the filters and put in my colors. So I'll do like a brown, and then for the material, I'll put wool, and then I'll put in my size. So once I have everything kind of locked in, that's when I'll do my search, and it will pull up all of these options that are only based on those filters that I applied. So I noticed that instead of just typing in tweed skirt, it's really more helpful to use the filters to your advantage rather than the search bar. So if you're looking to add some new fall pieces to your wardrobe and you're on a budget, ThredUp has got you covered. If you do want to check out ThredUp this fall, you can yeah. If you do want to check out ThredUp this fall, you can use my code Desi to get 30% off your first order. I will also have a link down in the description box. So let's just jump into it. I am going to show you this first item. This is the item that I'm most excited about, but it is also the most expensive. And then after I show you this one, I am going to answer some of your spooky questions. It is this 100% wool skirt. The colors are like this orangey, mustardy yellow and green, and the length is perfect. It fits me perfectly. The original estimated retail price for this one was $220, but I got it for $78.99. I think I want to pair this with some black tights and then maybe a sweater vest on top. But yeah, as soon as I saw this on ThredUp, I added it to the cart immediately. I was like, yes, that is my dream skirt. So I am so excited.
If I was the sunshine, fist fight every storm. Let the whole world freeze if it might not keep you warm. Cause all I need is your smile, nothing more. But if I couldn't have it, love, I'd let the whole world pour. I loved you once and I know I love you still. I know I love you still, oh, I know I love you still. Me back.
Okay, so the first question that I've got here is, what are your favorite recent autumn TV shows? I've got 3. 1, Discovery of Witches. I have previously talked about Discovery of Witches, but I had only watched the first 2 episodes. And as of filming this right now, I am about to finish Discovery of Witches, the book. So I have started watching the TV show again, and it is just everything that I could want to watch during autumn on TV. Like witches, vampires, set at Oxford with the most beautiful cinematography. Also, I've been loving Only Murders in the Building, which stars Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, and what is that dude's name? He plays Franck in Father of the Bride, Martin Short. Essentially, it's about these 3 strangers who live in this really nice, fancy, posh building in New York City, and they share this love for true crime, specifically this true crime podcast that they've been listening to separately. So then this death appears like right outside of where they live, and they decide that they're gonna form their own podcast and solve the murder, and it's so good.
We should do our own true crime podcast.
We're gonna go down there and look around for clues.
You wanna come?
Do I want to break into a dead guy's apartment and go through all his shit? Sounds like an afternoon.
Also, I recently started watching Dead Still, which is about this photographer. I don't remember at what time period it is, but it's like, I think it's Victorian Ireland, and he photographs the dead. The families will get together with someone who recently passed away, and they set up these scenes and take photos with their dead loved ones. And then one of the pictures, like he takes pictures for this family and the photos go missing. So he's trying to figure out who took them and he's trying to get them back. That's all I've really watched so far. It's on Acorn TV. If you could pick one fictional character to go through a haunted house with, who would it be and why? The first character, honestly, the first one that comes to my mind is Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Just because he could stand in front of me and literally just punch at anything that even tries to come near me. He'd just be like, yeah, get away, yeah, leave her alone. And just like, I feel like that would be a good option. But to go with a bit more fun option, I would have to choose Anne Shirley Cuthbert, just because I feel like anything, literally any activity would be more fun with her. Next question says, what are your top 3 spooky books you've read so far this year? So this year, where are they at? Spooky books. Not necessarily spooky, but kind of. Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This book is Stars Hollow, but witchy. There are spiders at one point, maybe giant spiders, but it's also super, super cozy. And if this was a drink, this would be a pumpkin spice latte. It's so sweet, it's so cozy, it's so warm. Then What Lives in the Woods by Lindsay Curie. This one's about a family who goes on a summer vacation to Michigan by this lake. They're staying in this really, really old, kind of dilapidated mansion because our character's dad restores old buildings, and while they're there they hear all of these like ghost stories about this place that they're staying. Supposedly there are creatures out in the woods and people go missing and they never return. It is set during summer, but there's like this really stormy, gloomy atmosphere that I think is perfect to read during autumn. This one is creepy. And lastly, I can't not mention A Discovery of Witches. It has vampires and witches and kind of like the you're not supposed to love me, you're a witch, you're a vampire, we can't be together trope, but done so well. I will continue to include this one any chance that I get. It's that good. Okay, moving on to the next clothing item that I got. It's this beautiful knit sweater. It's very chunky. It feels very homemade. Feels like, and it looks like my grandma could have made this for me, which is what I love about it. And the estimated retail price for this one was $82 and I got it for $17.99. I don't know why, but it also kind of gives me Hobbit vibes. Just like cozy Hobbit reading corner, drinking some tea. Very, very cozy vibes. All right, next question. Which Sanderson sister is your favorite? Gonna have to go with Sarah Sanderson on this one. She just wants to have a good time. She just wants to enjoy herself. Plus, she makes me laugh the most, so she gets extra points for that. And if I had to be one of the Sanderson sisters, I think I would choose to be her. And I mean, like, her fashion sense? The outfit she gets to wear? Yes, please. Can you tell us one of your favorite scary stories? I did hear this one on the What We Said podcast where listeners send in their own personal scary stories, and it went like this. This girl has an app on her phone where she goes to sleep and it tracks her sleeping and her snoring and how often she like talks in her sleep, stuff like that. So one night she said it like usual, and when she woke up to check it the next day, it said that she had multiple like interruptions or times where she was like talking in her sleep. So it records her. So she goes to listen to the recordings and there is a man voice. Like clearly you can hear a man speaking. And I think if I remember right, she is a student who lives in a dorm. They lock their doors, no guys live there. And there's this guy voice talking. And after I listened to that night, I could not sleep. I had to sleep with the lights on. I shouldn't even listen to those episodes, but every year I listen. Why do I do that to myself? I don't know. But yeah, that one, that has stayed with me since I heard it last year. I'll link the podcast episode down below if you want to go listen to it. If you could experience fall in any place and any time, when and where would you pick? Probably the Celtic festival of Samhain in historic Ireland. But our Halloween that we celebrate in America is so different from the roots and the origin of where Halloween came from in the first place, which mostly is from Samhain. But yeah, I would love to experience like authentic Samhain in Ireland. Okay, the next item that I picked up from ThredUp is this really nice, really soft button up. I wish you could feel how buttery soft this is. I love to use shirts like this to layer underneath other sweaters and vests. I think that layering is just really, really nice for fall. It keeps you warm and also looks really nice. This one was originally $89 and I got it for $24.99. Are there any parts of autumn that you don't enjoy, like an unpopular opinion? Yes. Candy corn. Don't come at me, but I think this tastes so bad. I do not understand the appeal. I don't get why people buy this. That being said, I never ate this growing up, so for me it's not a nostalgic thing. But you guys have told me that I need to try eating this with salted peanuts because apparently that makes it way better. So I went out and I got some salted peanuts and we're gonna try it. And I'm kind of having trust issues with you guys right now. I just can't imagine how salted peanuts would make it taste better. Can we just do one? I don't wanna do more than one. Okay. Oh, I don't like the texture. Okay, now I know why you eat it with the peanuts, because the peanuts completely mask the flavor. I'm gonna do more candy corn this time. I'm gonna go for 4, like so. Oops, I'm scared. No. I'm gonna have to pass. I'm sorry, don't hate me. I really didn't enjoy it. Show us your favorite Halloween costume from your childhood. I think I have shared this before, but this is, I think, 7-year-old Desi. Might have been 6 or 8. She dressed up as Rose from Titanic, and she even had to get a fake replica of the Heart of the Ocean. And she thought she was so cool, which she freaking was. Nobody else dressed up as Rose, and I'm pretty sure most of my friends hadn't even seen Titanic, but I watched it with my parents. I loved it so much. That was like the beginning of my love for historical dramas and historical fiction. But yeah, I love her so much. Little Desi, she was an icon. Okay, what's a favorite old classic Hollywood movie to watch during autumn? Ooh, these are some of my favorites. Rear Window, Dial M for Murder, and Wait Until Dark with Audrey Hepburn. Okay, and then the next item that I got from ThredUp are these adorable overalls. They're this really nice kind of velvety ribbed material. They're originally from Texture and Thread, which is a brand from Madewell. I love overalls for autumn. I think they're very youthful and very cozy, especially if you're doing outdoor activities. These have buttons all the way down the front, and it kind of looks like it's gonna be a skirt or a dress, but yeah, they're a pants. There are so many ways that I like to style overalls. A big chunky sweater underneath, or even a button up, and then maybe a cardigan on top. With this one, I can't even pair my Taylor Swift cardigan because the blue kind of matches the navy blue in that cardigan. The estimated retail price for these, it was, I think, $95, and I got them for $35.99. Would you rather be a witch, vampire, or werewolf, and why? A vampire. And that's purely thanks to my anxiety. But in a perfect world, probably a witch. Because I think being a vampire, I'd get to protect myself best out of the 3. They're strong, and powerful, and it would be hardest to kill me. That's like I was playing mermaids with my sisters this past summer in the ocean. We were all choosing what mermaid color tails we would have and what our powers would be. And of course, they're choosing like being able to talk to sea creatures or being able to control the weather. And for me, I chose the ability to protect myself against all danger. And that's on anxiety. I very much fear bad things happening to me, stuff like that. So yeah, I would choose a vampire. Have you ever had a run-in with a ghost? Oh, don't want to scare anybody, but you tell me. We took this in a cemetery in Northern Ireland. No, it was Ireland at night. I think it was close to midnight. Yeah. Who is your go-to author for autumn reads? Oh, that's so easy. Ray Bradbury.
Anyone could see that the wind was a special wind this night, and the darkness took on a special feel because it was All Hallows Eve.
Next item that I picked up from ThredUp is this sweater, and it is originally from American Eagle. I have a thing for almond-colored, cream-colored, cozy sweaters that are a bit oversized. I get major Taylor Swift, Folklore, and Evermore vibes. Estimated retail price for this one was $50, and I got it for $21.99. And there are so many things you can do with such a nice oversized sweater. You could do a button-up shirt underneath, so you have the collar poking out. You could do a turtleneck underneath, or like if you're going out, a nice thick jacket. Overalls. Ooh, this could go nice under the overalls that I got too. Like there's just so many things you can do with a nice staple sweater like this.
Old Father Time checked, so there'd be no doubt. Called on the north wind to come on out.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, somebody asked, what Taylor Swift album do you prefer for fall? Red or Evermore? Being me, I'm gonna say 3 answers because I can't choose just one. So I choose Red, 1989, and Evermore. I think 1989 is underrated when it comes to fall. It has songs like Out of the Woods and Welcome to New York that, I don't know, just give me major fall vibes. Listening to New Romantics while driving down the canyon with fall foliage, that just feels like such a vibe. But then also Evermore is perfect for the moody, gloomy, dreary days, I think. And Red is just good overall for fall. What's one of your autumn comfort movies? You know what's a good autumn movie, especially if it's closer to Halloween? Cinderella Story, the one with Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray. It's got everything you need. It has Halloween. It has, you know, like that makeover montage transition where somebody's trying on Halloween outfits. Classic like 90s, 2000s rom-com vibes. I think people just don't think about that one as much because it's set in California, so it's not like super autumnal with like leaves changing and stuff, but it takes place during the school year. There's a Halloween dance. This is one that I can watch with my sisters over and over, and we quote all of the parts, especially like the, "You're not very pretty.
You're not very pretty, and you're not very bright." I'm so glad we had that talk.
They're just, it's so quotable. I love it so much. Okay, so next from ThredUp, I was so excited to find this piece. It's a linen top that looks like it's stepped out of Tuck Everlasting. This is like my pirate shirt dreams, kind of. It's like very cottagecore, and you could put a corset over this. You could do suspenders. I imagine this with some leather or black suspenders. Estimated retail price for this one was $45, and I got it for $10.99. This was another one of those like instant add to the cart pieces. I knew I needed it as soon as I saw it. I'm always looking for really good linen tops that look vintagey that I can style with suspenders and tweed skirts and sweater vests and corsets, and this is exactly that. There are so many things that I can do with it. Next question. Are there any famous cemeteries that you want to visit? Are there any? There are so many. I really love cemeteries. I really want to visit Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, which is where the inspiration for Tom Riddle came from. So you can actually go there and see the grave that says Tom Riddle. And I think there are some other Harry Potter name inspiration headstones that you can find there. There's, I think there's a William McGonagall. I think he was a poet. So I want to go there as someone who loves Harry Potter. Plus it's in Edinburgh, which I really want to go to anyways. That's one of my top travel destinations. Been to England, been to Ireland, Northern Ireland. I need to go to Scotland next. What has been on your autumn bucket list for a long time, but you haven't managed to do? I really want to go to Salem, Massachusetts during October. I've done Halloween in Northern Ireland and all of the celebrations and festivities over there, but now I really want to do it in America, in one of the most spooky places that we have here in America, which is Salem. So I really want to go there, and I know it's like a very touristy thing to do, but I don't care. I want to get to Salem, Massachusetts before we leave. Actually, we're gonna leave before next October. I'm sad we didn't go this October now that I'm thinking about it. All right, this next item is one that I am also so freaking in love with, and it is this skirt. It's a tweed skirt, it's pleated, very much a piece that I would style with a vintage outfit. The estimated retail price for this one shocked me a bit. It was $265, but ThredUp had it for $35.99. I think this could be nice to wear during autumn and even early winter because it's really, really thick. I could wear this with some boots. I could even wear it with this dress that I'm wearing right now tucked underneath because this dress is so short. I think that would be really cute as well.
Can you put one leg up on the fence behind you and like kind of lean back as if you're just chilling? No, not like that. No, like put a heel up on the fence. No. No.
This question says, do you have a favorite autumn recipe? Yes. It's these pumpkin cream cheese swirl muffins. One modification that I make to it is I add in chocolate chips. It's phenomenal. I can't rave about it enough. How do you make a day feel autumnal when it's sunny and warm outside? That is a good question. There are some steps that I like to take to make myself feel more autumnal. The first step is to listen to music or put on a record, something that makes you think of Halloween or autumn. So I like to dance around to Monster Mash, Jeepers Creepers, a lot of the classic oldie songs from black and white movies. Or you could even go like Ghostbusters. Crank up Ghostbusters and just jam out to it. Next step would be to do an autumnal activity. So that could be anything that you're interested in. You could bake something that involves pumpkin or cinnamon. You could read an autumnal book. You could do a DIY craft. Something that I'm really excited to do this year is play one of those like unsolved cold case murder mystery games. Or you could try your hand at writing a poem, an autumn themed poem that's very autumnal. Or if you're artsy, try painting or drawing, sketching, anything that reminds you of autumn. Just do an autumn activity. And then in the evening, try watching a spooky movie. And while you watch the movie, you could make some homemade caramel. It's really easy. You just need, I think, like heavy cream, butter, and brown sugar. You could dip some apples in it, so you could have like a homemade caramel apple. These are all things that I used to do in Hawaii at home to make myself feel autumnal when it felt like summer outside. Next question asked, how long would you last in a scary movie? I want to say I would die off right away, but I actually think I might be one of the last people standing. I've always been really good at hide and seek, so as soon as I saw that stuff was going on, I would instantly check out. I'd be like, okay, peace out, I'm leaving, bye, and I would go find somewhere and hide and just be there and just camp out there until it was over. Until they caught the bad guy. And then I would finally come out and they'd be surprised that I'm alive with the lack of food and water, but my survival instinct would kick in and I would I would hide there the whole time. I wouldn't be involved in any of the action or the adventure. That's the sad thing, but I would be alive at the end, so that's all that matters. Okay, and then the final item that I got from ThredUp, it is this wool cape type jacket from Banana Republic. The estimated retail price for this one was $148, and ThredUp had it for $24.99. I love the texture, and I love the color. I love that it's wool because it will keep me really, really warm. I love this big button that it has in the front, and I love that it has these balloon sleeves. If you couldn't tell, a lot of these pieces are ones that I can make more vintage outfits with, because as we go into fall and winter, I really kind of gravitate more towards vintagey, whereas spring and summer is more like cottagecore, spring dresses and stuff like that. So I thought this would be a great staple in my wardrobe as well. I love the color of it so much. And the final question is, do you have a favorite Halloween costume that you've worn as an adult? I'm so glad you asked. We dressed up, it was the year that Stranger Things first came out, so everybody was obsessed. We were obsessed, just like everybody else. And I thought it'd be fun to have Jared be the Demogorgon, like the thing in the wall. So I spent hours into the wee hours of the morning making this big thing out of like this wood. I cut a hole through it so that he could put his hand through it. I got this stretchy material so that he could act like the thing coming out of the wall, so he could just like push his hand through and you would see it coming through. So he was the wall with the Demogorgon and I was Joyce Byers. It was just such a fun time. I was so proud of how I put everything together myself. Jared didn't help at all with this costume.
Did we turn our living room wall into the wall from Stranger Things? Yes. I mean, who wouldn't? And did we take pictures in front of it? Yes. Yes, we did.
And then also, I'm really proud of this costume as well, because we were traveling full time at this point. We didn't have the means to order costumes because we weren't staying anywhere longer than a week. So we had to go out and buy everything we could. We were in Northern Ireland and we were trying to think on a budget. We did not have much money to spend, and so we decided to be a magician and I would be the rabbit jumping out of his hat. So I felt proud of the fact that we didn't just let the fact that we were traveling and didn't have much of a budget stop us from still creating Halloween costumes. And I think that's gonna be it for today. You guys asked such amazing questions. Thank you. Thank you for indulging my autumn loving heart. I hope you guys had some fun, and thank you again to ThredUp for sponsoring this video. If you do wanna start thrifting with ThredUp, you can use my code Desi, again, to get 30% off of your first order. I am going to go finish up this baby because I only have a few chapters left, and this is like the best thing that I've read this year, so I'm gonna go do that. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another Halloween related video that I'm very excited about. I will see you next time. Bye, friends.